everyone, welcome back to She Equips Herself. I've got the mic here today. I don't normally use this for this channel. I usually use the mic for my podcast, Holy Hype. If you guys haven't heard of it, I'll link it down below. But today I wanted to bring out the mic for She Equips Herself because I have something that I really want the ladies out there to hear, especially the ladies who are scared of guns. Mac has been on this channel quite a bit lately, putting out some great content, great videos. He likes to get into the nitty-gritty of like ballistics, especially in terms of revolvers. So he's been coming out with some great videos lately, and you guys have been really enjoying them. So thank you so much for the feedback. But today it's me on here, and I'm excited to bring you this topic and my thoughts on it because I live in Massachusetts. And if you're from New England, you've probably heard the rumors that there's a serial killer on the loose in New England. There are internet theories swirling around and a Facebook group like dedicated to figuring out if there's actually a serial killer on the loose. I'm not sure either way. Like, there hasn't been enough information released where I'm confident that there is one or that these are just isolated incidents. But either way, it's got me thinking because I carry a gun every single day. Like, everywhere I go, I've got this thing with me. And it gives me a lot of peace of mind. And I was thinking, there are a lot of women out there, women I know personally, and women I don't know, who don't carry guns or any form of personal protection tool. No pepper spray, nothing. So I've got you ladies in mind. And I know that there are a lot of reasons that you might be afraid of guns. And maybe someone sent you this video because they care about your safety and they want you to be safe. So we're going to talk about it today, and hopefully by the end of this video, I'll instill a little more confidence in you to learn about firearms and get more comfortable with them, because I want you to see them the way that I see them. Not as something to be afraid of, but as a tool. Let me just give you a quick background. I did not grow up around these things at all. Never touched a gun until I was 18. My sister taught me, a lot of you probably know my story, but my sister taught me about firearms when she got into it. She was nice enough to teach me, taught me all about safety and all that. I eventually became an instructor myself and then started my YouTube channel. So I've taught a lot of women in person, like one-on-one at the range, and I've heard a lot of feedback on why they were scared of guns to begin with. For me, I don't really remember being scared of guns because I just had no exposure to them. And then my sister just taught me like how to be safe with them. So I was never really scared of guns. I'm very much a rule follower. So I like that aspect of firearms ownership, is like being super safe with your guns and like knowing all the safety rules and following them to a T. And I think that rules give us a sense of safety because we know what we can and cannot do, what we should and should not do. So knowing the rules is really important. But you might be scared of guns because you've never been around them. You didn't grow up around them. Some people, like my husband, for example, Mac grew up with guns. Like, I don't think he can remember a time where he wasn't around guns. Like, he just grew up learning about guns, shooting guns, knowing how to use them. And because of that, he's really good with them now. But he just grew up around guns. I didn't grow up that way. You might not have grown up that way. So if you didn't grow up around guns, a lot of what you know or think you know about guns comes from like TV and movies and maybe even, God forbid, the news. They don't know anything about guns, so don't take your information about guns from the news. But a lot of your perception of what a gun is or what shooting is like comes from media, and that might not always be accurate. And I was thinking about this when I was putting my thoughts together for this video. I feel like in movies and TV, you very rarely will see a storyline where like it's celebrating gun ownership for the purpose of keeping yourself and your family safe. You know, usually guns in movies are for just violence, sometimes indiscriminate violence, sometimes violence for a good reason. But like the thought of gun ownership as a woman to keep myself safe day to day, I just can't think of a movie that really celebrates that. Like, the only thing I thought of was the movie Enough with Jennifer Lopez, where she learns martial arts to keep herself safe from her abusive husband. But I can't think of like a firearms equivalent to that. I don't even know if this makes sense. If you know what I'm talking about, drop me a comment. Is there a movie or TV show that like celebrates gun ownership for women as far as like keeping ourselves safe? I don't know. I couldn't think of one. Something that I've heard from a lot of women who I've taught at the range or even just talked to about guns have told me this same story. And it always makes me really sad because the story goes like this. I went to the range for the first time with my brother, my husband, my boyfriend, some male. And they handed me this gun and it recoiled so much that I shot it and I never wanted to do it again. And I haven't been to the range since. I can't tell you how many times I've heard a similar story to that. And it makes me really sad because that really turns that woman off of the idea of ever carrying a gun for personal protection, just because someone took her to the range and handed her a gun that she shouldn't be shooting at that stage in her firearms journey. It might have been her first or second time at the range, and you hand her a gun that recoils a lot. It's scary. She's not going to want to do it again. And I think most men do that not realizing what's going to happen, but I think some men out there do it because of ego. Like they hand you a gun that they can shoot and they want to show you how strong they are or how cool they are that they can shoot it, and it's scary to you. You know what I mean? I think most of the times that's not the case, but there are those guys out there. I know you're out there. This is just a little side note for the men out there. If you're going to take a lady to the range for the first time, start her off with something really, really small. Maybe even just a BB gun. By small, I mean like something that doesn't recoil all that much. A BB gun, then work her up to 22s, and then you can go up from there. But don't hand her like a 45 and expect her to want to shoot again if it's her first time shooting. Because more often than not, she's probably never going to want to go to the range again. And another fear that I've heard is that we are scared that someone else might gain access to our guns, especially children. If you're a mom and you have kids in the house, you don't want them gaining access to your guns. I have 2 stepsons, so I totally understand. And that is where being diligent about keeping your guns locked up is super important. And that's something I talk about a lot because it's vital if you have children in your home or just if you live with people who aren't allowed access to your guns. Like, lock them up. There's so many different options for quick access safes that will allow you to get into your safe quickly, but keep others out, that there's really no excuse to not lock up your guns. That's also a legitimate fear. But the thing about fear is that educating yourself, I believe, is the antidote to fear. If you're afraid of something, the more you learn about it, the less scary it's going to be. So what I really want you ladies to understand is that this thing here, it's unloaded. This thing here that we call a gun is not this scary object that's just gonna like shoot things on its own. It's not. It is a tool. It's something that I can use and I can carry day to day to give myself like true peace of mind. It's not giving me paranoia and making me think that everybody out there is out to get me. It's this small thing. This is a Bodyguard 2.0, by the way, my current carry gun that I absolutely adore. It's this small thing that I can put on my body every single day, take out into the world with me, and know that if something happened where I was under the threat of death or serious bodily harm, or my children were, or my husband was, and I was there, I would be able to respond. I would have a chance at keeping us safe. And they're not only for men. Like, I think growing up, especially because of movies and stuff, you see men with guns and it's like a manly thing. And your gun doesn't have to be pink to be girly, okay? This is my gun. It's my gun. It's a woman's gun. It can also be a man's gun. My husband carries the same gun, so it can also be a man's gun, but it's not like a male or female object. Like, this is something that women should carry. And I think we have this association where like guns are for men. It's kind of like when I think of tools, like a hammer or a saw. Like, my husband uses those tools. If I need something built, he will build it for me or I'll help him. But those tools I associate with men because I don't use them. So maybe if you don't have a gun, you associate that with men. But this is a tool that can be used by men or women. And I just feel really strongly, obviously, if you guys can tell from my channel and what I do here, I feel very strongly about women taking these with them everywhere they go because it levels the playing field. My husband is 6'5". I'm gonna put a picture of us right here. My husband is 6'5" and more than twice my weight. So if someone his size attacked me, I have pretty much no chance of fending him off just with my bare strength. If I have this though, it just evens the playing field and gives me a chance. It's an asset. It's a tool. It's just like a fire extinguisher or a seatbelt. Like, I don't ever want to have to use this, ever. God, please don't ever let me have to use this. But if I do have to use it, I'll be so happy that I have it with me. It gives me a sense of self-reliance where I can keep myself safe even if I'm by myself walking around. Like, I have the ability to keep myself safe, not only because I carry one, but because I know how to use it. I've trained with it. I've taken classes with it. I'm confident in my abilities to use this for personal protection. And not just for myself, but for my family. Like, if I'm out with my kids, having this with me, again, gives me peace of mind. Like, I don't have to worry about, like, what would I do if someone came in and, like, grabbed one of my kids? And I want to say something here because I feel very strongly about this. I think it was last summer there was a shooting at a kid's splash pad. And I remember just feeling so angry, not only because someone would do something so evil, but because I know that there are moms who don't carry any sort of personal protection tool. And it's like, you're the one who those kids are relying on to keep them safe. If an incident happens, like, you can call the cops, but they're going to take so much time to respond. In our state, the average police response time is 7 minutes. And so, like, a lot can happen even in 1 minute. You're the one that's there with your kids. And if something happens, you're the one that they're going to look to keep them safe. I'm trying not to get angry here, but it's like, it's our responsibility as the adults to keep our children safe. And you can bury your head in the sand and pretend like bad things don't happen. But the truth is, like, look around. Bad things happen all the time. In movie theaters, at kids' splash pads, at the library. Like, it can happen anywhere. And so I want you to have the confidence to integrate a gun into your daily life. Like, that is one of my biggest passions, is showing you that you can make this part of your daily life without having to change a whole bunch of things. You don't have to change the way you dress. You don't have to start dressing, I always say, like Tactical Tammy to start carrying a gun. It can just be something you wear your normal clothes with. I've been showing so many outfits on Instagram lately. I've been having a lot of fun making, like, outfit reels where I show you how to carry a gun in certain outfits. But I also have a lot of videos on this channel about that. So if you want to see some examples of how to carry a gun in, like, regular day-to-day outfits, in leggings, in dresses, whatever, it's possible in any outfit. Our kids are looking to us to keep them safe. It's our responsibility. Mothers should be able to protect their children. So this little thing here, it's an ally. It is a tool. It's not something you need to be afraid of. It's something that you can equip yourself with to keep yourself and your family safe. So now, how do we overcome that fear? Okay, we have the fear. We understand that these are good things to carry. But how do I get over that fear? Well, the first thing that I recommend you do is getting some education. And I would start with, like, a basic firearm safety course. You can find one in your state. If you're in Massachusetts, there are tons of places you could take this course. Mass Firearms School in Holliston has courses, basic firearms courses, every single day. And they even have a ladies-only basic safety course. So if you want to take the course, but you want to do it in a room full of women, they offer that as well. So your state might have something similar, but definitely take a firearm safety course. Bring a friend with you, even if you never, like, you can never see yourself owning a gun. I think it's so important to know how to safely handle them in case you ever come across one. You just never know. It'll give you some background on, like, how guns work and how to keep yourself safe around them and what the process might look like if you ever do want to get a gun. So definitely recommend a basic course. But then beyond that, there are so many other courses you can take. I have a wall here that is, like, full of my teaching certifications, but also, like, other firearms classes that I've taken over the years. And you can just, like, once you start taking gun classes, you're going to want to take more and more. And it becomes kind of, I don't want to say an obsession, but for me, it kind of did. I just wanted to get, like, as many certificates as I could get and learn as much as I could. Now, I know you're busy. You have a million things in your calendar. I've created 2 online gun courses that you can take, not to substitute the basic course, but to supplement your learning. And I created them specifically knowing, like, what I would have wanted to learn in the beginning. So the Armed and Confident Academy is designed to take you from a casual gun owner or someone who doesn't really know much about guns to a confident carrier. And I take you along the journey that I went on, but in a much shorter time span than it took me. I, like, consolidated everything that I would have wanted to know into this course, and you can do it all on your own time. So you don't have to show up anywhere. You can do as much as you want, whenever you want. and you have lifetime access to it. So it can take you as long as you want, or you can finish it in like a month. It's up to you. And then my husband and I created the Practical Handgun Academy, which is like the next step that teaches you what to do to practice your live fire. So you get a gun, you decide you want to carry it, but how do I train with my gun to be able to carry it and protect myself or my kids if I need to? So we teach you live fire stuff in that course, and that one's taught mostly by my handsome husband. So if you want to see his face a bunch, it's all up in that course. But those courses, I wanted to make them so convenient for you because I know that scheduling classes and actually showing up and finding a babysitter or getting time off work, whatever, it can be tough when you have so many things going on. But education is so important, and it will change your whole mindset towards a firearm when you learn more about them. They're not scary. Okay. And also something that's helpful in overcoming your fear is like exposure, going to the range, shooting, doing like a one-on-one with an instructor if you can find one, especially if it's a female instructor. A lot of women feel more comfortable learning from another woman. If that's something you want to look for, that could be helpful too. And also finding a community of women can be very helpful. There are organizations like the Well-Armed Woman that have like chapters in every state, and your state might have its own female gun organization. Like in Massachusetts, a couple women I know and myself founded this group called the Mass Women Gun Owners, and they have a Facebook group, and you can talk to other women in Massachusetts and maybe organize like to go shooting with some of them. So finding a community of like-minded women who are also into firearms and are sharing like what they've learned, that's really helpful as well, and they're out there. So my advice is take a step wherever you are. If you've never fired a gun before, take a basic safety course. Take a friend with you. You don't have to go alone. Find someone who wants to go with you so that you guys can learn. The NRA also has these events called Women on Target, and those are designed specifically for women, and it'll give you like the basic safety course, but you also get to try a bunch of guns. There are instructors there who will teach you, and you're surrounded by other women who are learning. So those are really fun as well. But I just want to encourage you, you can do it. I am a first generation Greek city girl. Like I grew up in the city, never touched a gun until I was 18, and now I carry a gun every single day. And it just gives me the peace of mind that I need to be out in the world and know that I can keep myself and my family safe if something were to happen, or at least I'd have a chance. So I hope this encouraged you to take a step in that learning process to get more comfortable around guns. They don't have to be this big, scary thing. It's a tool. So if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to respond to them, or feel free to DM me on Instagram or send me an email, whatever. I'm here for you. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe. Bye.